No, we don't have a platform. But we can ask her. Ask her. Ask her. Okay. Thank you. Dennis, is it an idea to pull it back a little bit so we can continue when this is over?
But I will not film them. You can choose not to.
Tu pas spacimo. Quella this has to be brings life in South Africa. Okay, yeah, long because I meant to. Well, we have to listen to three very compelling hours of very detailed descriptions of what South Africa's disability case of genocide that Israel is now really in Gaza. Also not preventing. What we heard at the end there was very important because South Africa is now asking for provisional measures and urgent, very urgent, as South Africa has described, injunction. So what they are asking the court is now to very quickly decide on this order to ask Israel to order Israel to stop whatever it's doing, the military operation at the moment in Gaza, and also stop the mass displacement, stop depriving Gazans of food, shelter, water, health care, and also stop destroying Palestinian life in general, its culture, its history, its memory, its future. So it's a very long outline case, and the story is when we follow the ICJ many years ago. This is the most detailed and most gruesome case so far in comparison to previous genocide cases.
Sorry, lady.
We've seen the cases
Sorry.
against Myanmar,
Sorry,
cases
Madame.
against Russia. So this is a very strong case, they say, and we are waiting now for a press conference by the South African delegation. The Minister of Justice is about to speak here behind me. There are also other members of the delegation, and there are also foreigners here expected. For example, a member of the Belgian Chamber of Representatives, a former mayor of Barcelona. So a lot of support also.
Oh, great.
Coming
Okay.
from South Africa, but also from other countries for this case.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Yeah?
I think I should speak. They could take
Ja, die Israëlische delegatie die springt in de busjes. Nee, nog niet.
Il faut la ranger encore.
Tu vas ranger toi ou pas?
C'est pour moi.
Uh-oh.
On va.
I like the headband. Who's the headband?
No, it'll break. No. Oh, hey, no, it'll break. Too much weight now.
Yeah. It's actually too balanced on that side. May I hang it on the side? Like that?
Ja, tenzij we hier ook een eiland
Maybe there's better. Everyone.
I think you guys should move all the way up.
It's too close, yeah?
Yeah, it's too close.
Thing up, right?
Ja, ze zijn allemaal weg.
Yeah. If you build it like here, maybe it's better.
Yeah, but no, right?
Yeah, well, that's one screw away. Lower. Nah. Keep them together, man. Higher, I think.
Ja, we staan in beeld.
You got it.
Non, c'est par là. C'était au milieu.
Non, ça, c'est le milieu.
Non, le milieu de la porte. C'était le milieu de la porte. Quand il sort, il y a directement.
Attends.
So?
Et ici, mais il n'est pas à jour. Donc c'est au milieu de la porte. On était encore un peu comme il était. Encore un peu. Encore. Oui, c'était en bas, c'est mieux.
There's like this whole group of cameramen over there. True. And I'm right there. I'm not the problem. I think it needs to be make enemies in that corner. True, but I'm trying to accommodate everybody. Which includes the people standing over there. I don't have a problem. I'm there, so it could be here. But there's colleagues over there. Just saying. And that's our wars breakout.
No, don't start. Yes.
Of naar beneden. We gaan naar beneden. So why do I do this?
Maar het is fascinerend, hè? Die journalisten elkaar gewoon fucking bij bezig. Echt, nee. Prime position. I mean, it's getting a bit crowded now.
Yeah, I wish. You're right, I'm Devon. I'm Devon. Oh, yeah, probably I'm actually here. Would you got
Jullie doen dat heel fijn, jongens.
Oh, you can make it better.
Pas op. Il est possible, Johnny. Il est à l'extérieur. Ouais,
Ça y est, tu peux plus.
On a déjà eu 3 heures à la fin. Donc dans ce cas-là, c'est que dans ce cas-là, oui, exactement. It's supposed to be hot, right?
Een beetje een kuifje in Afrika. Hij mag gewoon liggen. Ja. Wel historisch context duiden. Bij deze even dat. Ja, want die hele mooie standbeeld van die van de heel mooi is dat. Troost in nog weer. Ja, zeker. Dat is de kip. Ja, heel lekker. Ik reken erop dat jullie maken zijn. Pas op. Auke. Nee, ja. Die einen, weil ich glaube, Annahmen, das ist vielleicht gut, der Kreis. Dat is die arts die gaat.
Après, il va descendre. Ah oui, pour montrer. There they are.
Israel zijn.
I mean, I think they were very well,
to the point, yeah.
I thought it was a very well. But you read the document. I didn't.
That's your gear.
There is a lot of examples like this. But this is the thing. This is like the international media don't show what Israeli soldiers post on social media. Like there's many
There's a lot of it. We have done a bit on it, but I think you're right. We should have done more on it. We have done some of it, but I agree with you. I think we have done more. And I
because
think
it's not like just one example. It's like a phenomenon. Now on TikTok, it's like you know, like you putting everything on social media what you are doing.
No, I think you've got a good point. I think that we should.
And also what?
Oh, hi.
Hein? لا لا بدنا نجرب بلا سباحة.
Oh, we've got it. We've got
Voilà,
it.
c'est fini maintenant. Le truc là-bas, ici.
Yeah, I think I take the point.
Yeah, and also what on the Israeli media, like what they,
What I find is so I can't believe you over of course. Have Gaza.
هذاك فلسطيني لا وزير الخارجية.
because I was following also how they covered it, and they were surprised like hearing these accusations. Yeah, because some of the journalists like, they are also hard, like giving these platforms
Du Sud parce qu'ils étaient là et
Ouais.
du Sud ils étaient là.
Ouais, mais il y en a plein qui sont rentrés dans un véhicule qui est parti. Donc
Ah oui,
parler.
la voiture est partie.
Ouais.
Mais qui va venir alors?
Je sais pas.
Dans le photo, c'était toute la matériel.
Ouais, c'est ça. Normalement, ça va être l'extérieur.
I'm from Israel.
All right. And where are you from?
From Galilee.
Oh, is your family from there?
Yeah.
How are they managing?
Like Palestine right now, there's a lot of fear to talk, even like, because they arrested many people for a post or even a like on social media. So you can imagine how like you, as a Palestinian, you
يعني مش جايين؟
say something against the war, like show any sympathy with all the people who's being killed, because you might be fired from your job. Around like 100 students, Palestinian students, suspended from studies in university.
خليك هدايا ولا نهزوا معايا؟
Sinon, lui, il يعيط لي.
لا نعيط لك non j'ai pas envie de voir le courrier là-bas. كله فيها لا هذاك وزير الخارجية قال مش احكي نزل كذا ولا لا شو
Ja, we hebben een lijst.
Van die naar buiten gekomen. Ja, ik kan. Ja, precies.
Looking for the line.
De tweede ga je niet hier uiteindelijk.
After the
Yeah. So you don't have time, but you are just like going outside, or you have time for that. But here, but you do it here or outside. It might be outside because I think they will not tell us to go out. But then we will come with you. Perfect. Yes. No problem. Sorry?
Yeah. We cannot go like
What are they asking?
They
think it's just this way, but it's not. No, don't worry. I'll hold it. Yeah.
Okay.
Want to go back?
Heute steht im Moment okay.
דברים בזה, בינו. השארת דברים בפרסרום? אני רואה שאנשים יוצאים כדי שלא... משהו יכול להבין עכשיו. לא משהו. משהו הורג את הפייסבוק. לא, אבל לגבי הרישית. הוא הצטרף לתביעה. אני יודע, אבל אני לא יודע. כי הוא דורש בה... לא ראיתי שהוא נשאר, באתי בסוף. מה שמלעשון פה זה... כבר דבור אותי. ראש מפלגה, קורבינו וזכיר. ראש מפלגה,
זה משהו שהתחילו, שזה בוקסר,
They will go there, so down, down.
Okay, let me make your thing easier.
Sorry. I'll come to the mic where it's
Okay, welcome ladies and gentlemen to the press conference of the Republic of South Africa. Flanked next to me is the Minister of Justice and Correctional Services for the Republic of South Africa, and we will also have our Director General for the Department of International Relations, and behind him is the Director General for the Department of Justice and Constitutional Development, and to my right is our ambassador to the Netherlands, and we're also joined by our Palestinian friends. Over to you, Minister Lamola.
Thank you very much. The government of the Republic of South Africa, led by His Excellency President Matamela Cyril Ramaphosa, entrusted me with representing its commitment to the rule of a just law and to confirm and assert a universally rule-based society and the respect for human rights, and specifically the rights of the Palestinian people to sovereignty, to peace, and to life. We want firstly to thank our excellent legal team for an able presentation at the court. We also want to thank the court for granting the government of the Republic of South Africa an opportunity to present its case in real time. We hope that its decision will also be impactful to the people of Gaza and Palestine in general. Since the advent of our democracy in 1994, South Africa's foreign policy has been based on what our forebears inscribed in the Freedom Charter in 1955, when they declared that South Africa shall be a fully independent state with respect the rights and the sovereignty of all nations. South Africa shall strive to maintain world peace and the settlement of all international disputes by negotiations and not war. Close quote. South Africa has supported various resolutions of the United Nations and other international solutions to support a just and a lasting solution that will bring peace to the Palestinians and Israelis alike. Working together with the international community and in alignment with the relevant UN resolutions and international law, South Africa seeks to ensure a lasting and a durable peace that produces a viable, contiguous Palestinian state, coexisting side by side in peace with Israel, within the 1967 international recognized borders, with East Jerusalem as its capital. Our president has called for a ceasefire and humanitarian interventions on numerous occasions. Our foreign policy is aimed at improving the well-being, safety and prosperity of all citizens and the achievements of a better Africa and the world. The key pillars of our foreign policy include the promotion of human rights, peace and stability, and the strengthening of trade and investment ties with other countries. The world has watched in horror as Palestinian men, women and children were slaughtered, blown up, buried alive under the rubble of their homes, left to die painful deaths and in unresourced hospitals, resulting in over 23,000 deaths through destruction to homes, schools, hospitals, water, treatment plants and other public infrastructure that impairs the conditions of life and is calculated to bring about the destruction in whole or in part of the Palestinians living in Gaza. South Africa has unequivocally condemned the attack by Hamas on the 7th of October, and it has also done so in its note verbal to the State of Israel, conveying its condemnation of that action of Hamas on the 7th of October. And South Africa has reiterated here in court that those atrocities are no justification for any form of genocide. With the recent escalation of the aggression of Israel in Gaza, South Africa has supported a number of UN resolutions calling for immediate ceasefire and the provision of humanitarian aid to the people of Palestine. Sadly, the world has not succeeded in stopping the genocide that is currently unfolding in Gaza. The international community has largely remained passive in response to these atrocities. Women and children in areas such as refugee camps, schools, and hospitals have been targeted, leading to a humanitarian crisis. We also unequivocally call the United Nations Secretary General invoked a rarely used article of the UN Charter, Article 99. The Secretary General Antonio Guterres on the 6th of December 2023 called on the Security Council to press to avert a humanitarian catastrophe in Gaza and unite in a call for a full humanitarian ceasefire between Israel and the Palestinian militants. This plea of Ubuntu, a plea for humanity of the international community to prevail, was simply ignored. Israel's institutional impunity was reinforced. In keeping with our obligation as a state party to the Genocide Convention, our government has approached the International Court of Justice to prevent the unfolding genocide in Gaza. We have also asked for provisional measures which include an immediate suspension of Israel's military operations in and against Gaza. The commitment to justice and bring an end to the humanitarian atrocities in Palestine resonate deeply with the collective consciousness of the global community. The scale of these actions is reminiscent of the Rwandan genocide 30 years ago. We are here on behalf of South Africa and the global community to seek justice for the victims, particularly children, women, and the elderly. We believe that without the intervention of this court, of the international community, we will see the total destruction of the Palestinian people in Gaza. Remaining silence in the efficacy of this and in and of itself will be a gross violation of international law. As a state party to the Genocide Convention, we have a duty to prevent genocide. We are seeking the court to intervene and stop the ongoing massacre in Gaza. Today, it is common cause that the Rwandan genocide could have been prevented. Former UN Secretary General Kofi Annan expressed this regret when he said, and I quote, "The international community failed Rwanda, and that must leave us always with a sense of bitter regret and abiding sorrow." Close quote. Rwanda stands out as a stern and severe rebuke to all of us for having failed, for the international community having failed to prevent it from happening. Let us not have it live with the same regret when it comes to Palestine. This case presents the court with an opportunity to act in real time to prevent genocide from continuing in Gaza by issuing an urgent injunction. South Africa is multifaceted, multicultural, and a multiracial country that embraces the concept of Ubuntu as a way of defining who we are and how we relate to others. Ubuntu means I am because you are. I am because Hamza Abdullah is. You are because Duna Ab Mozen is. The philosophy of Ubuntu means humanity and is reflected in the idea that we affirm our humanity when we affirm the humanity of others. It has played a major role in the forging of South African national consciousness and in the process of its democratic transformation and nation building. Our history is one of repression and violence, human rights abuses, apartheid as a crime against humanity, discrimination and distrust between people born on the same soil. This history enjoins us to stand in principle in solidarity with the people of Palestine, as of our founding father would have wanted us to do, Nelson Mandela. Because our history is one marked by crimes against humanity, the recent horrific scenes of the city of Gaza being transformed into mass burial ground haunt of our minds. The alarming sight of jubilant armed forces rejoicing to the chance who are finishing off Gaza is an act among several others that warrant a thorough examination by this honorable court. The words of Israel ministries, Israel members of parliament, the generals of the army, speeches such as killing people of Palestine, human animals, shows a clear statement of intent to wipe out the Palestinian people out of Gaza. The UN Committee on the Elimination of Racial Discrimination stated that such language is an incitement to genocide and underscored the importance of preventing genocide by all state parties. As a signatory to the convention, we also have a duty to bring this matter to the court's attention and to stop genocide. The actions taken by Israel against Palestinians are considered by many state parties, including the state of Palestine itself, to be in breach of the convention. Palestine has expressed grave concerns over the international system's incapability to prevent acts of genocide against its people and has urgently called for an action to halt such acts. The uncompromising enforcement of the rule of law must be used to cease the ongoing atrocities in Gaza. This case also is about the assertion and the affirmation of the international rule of law and to end exceptionalism when it comes to the state of Israel. Our distinguished legal team has expanded on our case in the court. We want to conclude with the words of Martin Luther King when he said, and I quote, "The arch of the moral of the universe is long, always bending towards justice." We believe justice will prevail in this court. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Can you tell us what difference do you think this case will make on the ground in Gaza?
It will make a huge difference. The fact that the state of Israel is held to account by the international community, the soldiers, they know, the authorities in Israel, they know that if they continue, they may one day be called even before the ICC individually and be held accountable. So the message is clear: they must cease, they must desist from the acts of genocide.
Mr. Minister, how confident are you that the court will actually pronounce these provisional measures against Israel?
Obviously, we cannot want to overtake the court's role and also second guess the court. We believe that we've presented a compelling case, facts, and the law, international law. There is clear jurisprudence with regards to the case and the facts that we've presented. As you have heard, our lawyers have also quoted extensively on international jurisprudence. That is where we stand on, and we will continue to allow the court to examine the facts and come up with a verdict. It's not for us to pronounce on behalf of the court.
When do you expect you are the legal arm of Hamas? How do you respond to that?
Minister, there's often a statement made by many countries, particularly those who are sympathetic to Israel, that those Western powers who are sympathetic to Israel are likely going to punish South Africa. What is South Africa's position in relation to perhaps a fallout that is likely going to ensue?
Zain. Thank you, Sophie. I will take that question. We have engaged with many of the countries that you've mentioned. Many of them understand that we take diametrically different positions to them. Our position is on Palestine, as the ministers pointed out and as our legal team has pointed out, is based on principle. So we can defend our position with all of them. And in fact, we're doing this in the interest of securing justice for Palestinians, but it's also to ensure that international law, as you pointed out, is implemented fairly and also evenly. And that is in the interest of preserving international law for all.
What is your name and position, please?
Zain Dango, Director General of International Cooperation.
Minister, do you recognize any responsibility by Hamas to the situation happening now in Gaza?
As we have said in court, we have condemned the action of Hamas on the 7th of October, and we have done so also through a note verbal to the State of Israel.
Minister, Israel says you'll expect the decision of the court. Is it a matter of days or a few weeks? When do you expect that?
Yeah, obviously we want to not to preempt the court, not to put unnecessary pressure on the court, but we believe the court has heard our side, they understand the agency, and they will deliver the verdict within reasonable time.
Do you get enough political support from other countries?
That South Africa is the legal arm of Hamas. How do you respond to that?
Yeah, we have presented a case here on behalf of the government of the Republic of South Africa, and we are doing so on behalf of a number of Palestinians, young kids, women, and the elderly that are being killed in Gaza. We are not presenting any case on behalf of Hamas. So that statement is baseless. That statement has got no merit. We do not have any mandate from Hamas. Our mandate is from the South African government, and our case also is not against the Jews as a people. Our case is against the actions of the state of Israel, the actions of genocide that are committed in Gaza. In South Africa, we have got a number of Jewish people doing business, living with us. and they also attend their churches in peace. So the case is about the state of Israel. It's not about the Jewish people as a community.
You have no contact with Hamas people
by other
at all?
countries in African Union or in Asian countries or Latin American
You have
countries?
already asked the
Minister,
question.
can I ask, Israel says you're playing politics with this and it has a right to self-defense. What's your response?
This is the highest organ of the UN. I think it will be an insult to the court to say that the court granting us an opportunity to present our compelling case that all of you have seen, citing international law, providing facts, and citing the relevant articles of the convention, Article 1 of the convention, and a number of UN conventions that the court has been presented with. So we have presented a compelling legal argument. This is not politics. We're expecting the court to pronounce on the facts and on the law.
And what should happen to Israel if it ignores the outcome?
DG?
About the diplomatic relations with Israel, will you maintain them?
So as obviously currently our diplomatic relations is not normal. You've seen that we have recalled our ambassadors from Israel, and Israel has also recalled their ambassador from South Africa.
Ambassador left many years ago already.
Yes, and we've also recalled our entire team. In essence, what we are saying is that we will wait for the outcome of this court case, but also for justice to be found within Palestine, and we hope that after that we can engage with Israel as with other stakeholders towards a just and lasting peace for both Palestinians and Israelis.
So you will decide on the fate of the relations after the court issues its order?
I think we'll be able to engage with our relations a lot more openly after the court case has been concluded.
And Minister, what if the court doesn't agree with you? Would that lead to South Africa questioning this system itself?
Yeah, we are here to assert the international rule of law. This is the highest organ of the UN. We believe that the judges are professionals. We are cognizant of the reality of an international court in this jurisdiction and how it's functioning. But they have taken an oath, and we want to give them the benefit of a doubt that they will be able to exercise professionally. And that's why we presented the case, citing facts, citing jurisprudence, citing the necessary conventions of the UN.
But Minister, do you honestly believe that the Israelis want to wipe out the Palestinians of Gaza? Do you personally believe that?
Yes, we do.
Do you have any contact, or did you have any contact with Hamas people at any point?
I want to say a statement. Well, you want to go ahead, Excellency? Well, first of all, I think the facts speak for themselves. What Israel is doing in Gaza Strip is obvious based on fact and law, that they are wiping the people of Gaza and forcibly and putting the population there in conditions that will lead to their demise. Allow me to say a few words in Arabic on behalf of the state of Palestine, and then to make a short statement also in English. دولة فلسطين تثمن عاليا وتقدر وتدعم بلا تحفظ الخطوة التاريخية التي أقدمت عليها جنوب أفريقيا تنفيذا لالتزاماتها بموجب اتفاقية منع الإبادة الجماعية والمعاقبة عليها، وتحريكها لدعوة ضد إسرائيل السلطة القائمة بالاحتلال نتيجة حرب الإبادة الجماعية التي ترتكبها ضد الشعب الفلسطيني في غزة. لقد وضعت النقاشات اليوم المحكمة والتي تقدمت بها جنوب أفريقيا المحكمة والعالم بصورة الجرائم التي ترتكب بحق الشعب الفلسطيني والتي تفضي إلى ارتكاب جريمة الإبادة الجماعية، ولكن أيضا في السياق التاريخي الأشمل للقضية الفلسطينية والجرائم التي ترتكب بحق الشعب الفلسطيني بدءا من النكبة والاستعمار ونهب أرضه والتمييز العنصري وكل ما إلى ذلك من انتهاكات كانت ترتكبها إسرائيل على مدار 75 عام. هذه لحظة تاريخية للشعب الفلسطيني وللإنسانية وكذلك للنظام الدولي المبني على والقائم على القانون. نتقدم بالشكر لكل الدول التي ساندت هذا الطلب، وندعوها أيضا ندعوها للقيام واتباع الخطوة الشجاعة التي قامت بها جنوب أفريقيا ودعمها من خلال الدخول في مرحلة النقاشات التي تناقش تفاصيل القضية لاحقا. أخيرا نؤكد أن لا أحد يمكن له الادعاء بعدم معرفة والجهل بالجرائم التي ترتكبها إسرائيل بحق الشعب الفلسطيني، وستواصل القيادة الفلسطينية ودولة فلسطين سعيها لإحقاق الحق الفلسطيني وتنفيذا لكل الحقوق الفلسطينية ومساءلة كل الجرائم التي ارتكبت بحق الشعب الفلسطيني. Allow me to say a few words in English, and I'll try to make it short. I know you've been waiting for long. Sorry to make you wait for that long. But we thank you for being here with us in this historic day, not only for Palestine, but for humanity and for the whole international rules-based system. The State of Palestine values and appreciates wholeheartedly the historic action taken by South Africa today at the highest international court. As a party to the Genocide Convention, South Africa has acted in pursuance of its obligations and duty to prevent and punish the crime of genocide by requesting the ICJ to intervene to suspend the genocidal war launched by Israel against the Palestinian people in Gaza. Very importantly, the South African oral argument also presented the context in which this genocide is happening, a continuum of Nakba, of colonization, of dispossession, oppression and apartheid that the Palestinian people have been suffering from for the past 75 years. South Africa presents a damning evidence confirming that Palestinian people have suffered and are suffering irreparable harm from Israel's violation of the Genocide Convention. This is a pivotal moment for the international system. South Africa took a bold and proactive step on behalf of humanity to protect the Palestinian people and ensure that the Genocide Convention and international law do not become completely irrelevant, which is a prospect that must terrify all of us. Nearly 100,000 Palestinians have been killed, disappeared under the rubble and injured by Israelis over the past 3 months. Israel caused systematic, extensive and deliberate destruction of the foundations of life in Gaza, including homes, infrastructure, hospitals, churches, mosques. Israel displaced nearly the entire population and is deliberately starving the population. Israel is destroying the foundations of life in Gaza. We thank all states and intergovernmental organizations who supported this important and historic step by South Africa. We also urgently call on all states to take steps to support South Africa's application. And let me be clear, no one can claim plausible deniability that thanks to at least the 115 colleagues of yours that have been killed by Israel in the course of the 3 months that passed. The Palestinian leadership will not relent until our rights of return, freedom and independence are achieved. Humanity is at crossroads. The case before the ICJ is a test to the international system. It is a moment of naked truth and an opportunity to provide hope to humanity at a time when it's sorely needed. Leaders have a historic responsibility and their actions will be judged by history. Thank you.
Can you say your name, please?
Sorry, I did not introduce myself. My name is Ammar Hijazi. I'm the Assistant Minister of Foreign Affairs of the State of Palestine.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Are you representing also Hamas people?
Are you representing...
I'm an American journalist. I'll monitor.
Okay. Good luck to you.
Good luck to you.
I told you who I represent.
It's a question. It's not a hostile question. It was just a question.
Seeing images of the 7th of October when Hamas attacked those areas and
You were exactly
where
wrong place.
more than 1,000 Israelis perished. But that was South Africa. We expect another briefing very soon outside court where you will have also international representatives, among them the former leader of the Labour Party in the United Kingdom, Jeremy Corbyn, whom I spoke to earlier on, and he was full of praise in terms of how South Africa has handled this matter, following the UN system and using the available organs or institutions within the United Nations for animal case. And that's we will be back here tomorrow morning when Israel is presenting this case. But stand by, because we will definitely bring you the second briefing where you have these international newsmakers who are here to support South Africa.
So maybe you can explain to us why South Africa is doing it. Well, you know, South Africa has a relationship with already South Africa and Pakistan, where much besides try and make sure that both countries are free of money. And when South Africa was very one is that South African president
Mike.
Mike. Former South African president is very vocal in terms of reminding his members of political parties that they must talk about the Palestinians. That's what South Africa is saying. What normally
Sorry, civil society. You know how much budget we have? What I mean?